Assalamu alaikum, dear students of class 7th. My subject is English and the topic is three questions. Three questions. It is first part we discussed yesterday, right? So, dear students, the story it is written by Leo Tolstoy. You already know it. And the three questions I already discussed about those questions yesterday. The first question was, what is the right time to begin something? It was the king's first question. He wanted to seek the answer of that question, right? And the next question was, which people should he listen to? Which people should he listen to? Right? It was the king's second question. And the third one, what is the most important thing for him? That means for the king to do, right? All these three questions the king wanted to answer, to get the answer of those questions. So, dear students, today we will proceed here in today's part. Let us throw light. Dear students, in order to know the answers of these three questions, in order to know the answer of these three questions, of the three questions, the king announced, the king announced, the king announced a large sum of money to be rewarded to the people who would answer the questions properly, who would answer the questions properly, correctly, aptly, correctly, aptly, precisely, properly. The king wanted to answer to the three questions. So the king announced a huge amount, a large amount to be paid as a reward, for those people who would be able to answer the questions correctly, right? So many wise people gathered, many wise people gathered around the palace to answer the questions, to answer the questions. In answer to the first question, just see, just watch. In answer to the first question, the answer of the first question was to form or to prepare, to prepare a timetable. To prepare a timetable so that king would act accordingly or according to the timetable. In this way, he would overcome all the problems, right? But there were some another group. You see their answer. They suggested. That means the second group suggested. The first group suggested that the king should prepare a timetable and act accordingly. And act accordingly. And the second group suggested that the king should keep vigil over all the affairs or over the actions or the work, right? And should do whatever he seems necessary. And should do whatever he seems necessary. Whatever the king seems necessary, first he should vigil over the affairs, over the actions, over the work, right? And should do that work which is necessary for him, which is necessary for him. But another group recommended that a wise man, a group of counselors, a group of counselors a group of counselors should be assigned the work so that they might help the king, and they may decide what the king should do. That means he should formulate, he should form, he should make a group of wise men for his help to decide the work. It was suggestion of some other group, right? But some suggested, there was one more group, they suggested that the king should know the future to do any action. Know the future to do any action. At a proper time. For this, he should consult a magician. He should consult a magician. That means a magician should be assigned the duty, the work, so that he would inform the king at the right time to do a proper work, to do a work at the right time. That means magician should be there to know the future, because magicians are there, they have that capability uh, to know the future, So there were some people, some wise men who suggested that the king should have a magician in the palace who should be assigned the duty to know the future, to do any action, to do any work at a proper time, right? So there were too many suggestions, too many people, too many wise men who rounded, who assembled there to give their own suggestions. Different answers were there. Different answers were there. But it was all in vain. It was all in vain. So, what was the next answer to the next question? We will brief it, inshallah, tomorrow. So, dear students, it was all about today. It was the first question's answer that some wise men suggested who assembled there around the palace, who attended that occasion to give their suggestions. To actually, they wanted their intention was to get the huge reward from the king. But let us see in the later what happened there. So, dear students, all about today. Thanks. Be blessed.